21 people have volunteered to take a probiotic for 3 weeks.
I think they're a good thing, but maybe that's just the marketing. I don't know.
They'll have a controlled diet, and their urine will be tested by Imperial College scientists to see the effects on each individual.
It's marketed as an improving health benefit, so I'd give it a go and see if it does improve my health.
After the trial, some of the results are surprising.
This is paracresol. That's actually quite an interesting compound. It's made by Clostridia in the gut.
So the mauve is before and the sort of crimson is after?
Absolutely right. Now, paracresol is actually an ingredient of creosote. You put it on, paint it onto fences to stop wood rotting. Now, Clostridia are bad bugs. So in this particular person, the effect of the probiotic is to encourage the bad bugs, exactly the opposite of what the intended purpose was. If you look at another person here, then this shows exactly the opposite effect. So this person had a good response, right? In terms of the
less of this. I never knew that I had creosote sloshing around inside me.
Yes, it's amazing what we can find.
Frightening thought.
Yeah, and when we've done this for everybody in the study, and guess what? Some of them were good, some of them hardly did anything, and some of them were a bit on the bad side.
What you've convinced me of, absolutely, is how we're all behaving very, very differently. So how is it that the manufacturers of these probiotics can say with such sureness, oh, well, this is going to do you good? Because evidently they can't really say that, can they?
Well, statistically, they sort of can. If you can say, on average, people are better off, then that is a sort of legitimate claim. But what we don't know is whether or not, for you as an individual, that's a good thing, or which of the many different probiotics is the best one for you.
So I could take one brand of a sort of a yoghurty drink in the morning and have a totally different response if I took another one.
That's absolutely correct.
But presumably I'd have to do it by trial and error. And how would I assess?
Really, you have to do your own clinical trial on yourself to see whether you really do feel better.
In the Imperial College trial, a few of the volunteers did feel some effects, but most did not.
I would say I'm a reasonably healthy person, and I noticed absolutely no difference whatsoever.
Didn't feel any different at all. Honestly, didn't notice any difference.
Even so, Professor Glenn Gibson is still convinced probiotics are beneficial.
Well, what you should do is probably give yourself a good dose of food poisoning and repeat the study. And, I mean, to be serious, if you asked somebody who is suffering very badly from irritable bowel syndrome and doesn't know whether they can go to the cinema or shopping or the theatre or even go to school, whether they wish they'd taken probiotics to try and reduce the risk, they'd probably tell you yes. It just means that you're trying to improve your chances of not picking up a gut problem or a gut-related problem.
Having heard the evidence, Professor Regan now has to make a decision. Is she impressed by probiotics?
I did take on board the fact that there seems to be some evidence for some at-risk groups benefiting from a probiotic. So very young infants who've been unwell, and perhaps elderly people or people who've been hospitalised for a long time, immunocompromised. There seemed to be some evidence that it was beneficial for them. But for you and me, you I think are quite healthy, I think it's rather random.
So are they in or out?
No, I don't think I'd go and put probiotics inside my trolley. Not when I'm sort of what I think is fighting fit, no.